Mire esto, Ronda, ya a la misma vez transmitimos para YouTube en vivo.
Increíble. EQ, en esta pantalla yo voy a ver a todo el mundo.
A todo el
¿verdad?
mundo.
Perfecto.
Mientras se vayan incorporando, se van poniendo más chiquitos,
Perfecto.
pero ves a todo el mundo.
Perfecto, perfecto.
Mire esto, Ronda, ya a la misma vez transmitimos para YouTube. Lo pongo mute porque si no... Déjame copiar esto.
Madam Mayor.
Good morning, sir. Wait, I can't see. Q's doing something. Hold on, I can't see you.
Tiene que darme un chance un momentico, Pepe, espérate.
No ve todo eso.
No, Pepe. No, Pepe, hold on. Q's doing something. I can't see the screen right now. Hold on. Él está oyendo. Pepe, can you hear me?
Sí, cómo no.
Okay, wait a sec. Now, okay, wait. Okay, now I can see you. Okay, what are you showing me? What is all that, Pepe? Banyan? Pepe, what is all that?
That's Banyan.
Pepe, you're gonna need a bigger home office pretty soon for Banyan material.
Los this.
Coronavirus, okay? Well, you've got your folders going on.
Los this.
Increíble, Pepe. Wow. At least you're keeping very busy, sir.
Okay.
Esto está on
Sí,
si
sí,
acaso.
sí, porque eso...
No, estoy viendo que está puesto. Okay.
O sea, no se está viendo todavía por la
Perfecto,
televisión,
perfecto.
pero sí para que se escuche el audio
Perfecto.
en la
ok,
televisión en vivo.
perfecto.
Igual lo tienes un poquito abajo así, mira,
Okay.
para que se escuche. Ahí está bien. Esto es para la televisión.
Este es para televisión.
Sí,
Estos micrófonos
para Conca,
para
para Conca.
televisión. Okay. Y el Zoom es por este speaker.
Sí, o sea,
Perfecto. Perfecto.
por
Ya,
aquí está
ya,
el
ya.
micrófono y la...
Ok, perfecto. Perfecto.
Ok, déjame minimizar. Esto está play. Compartir. Este es copy. Este es el link. Ok, voy abajo a conectar a Carlos, que me está esperando. Al Chief.
Creo, no sé, no estoy segura, pero creo
Siéntate aquí a ver si estás cómoda.
que Yoli, Pena y Aneri va a estar aquí arriba, separado. Creo.
Sí, pero no va a poder ser así,
Ah, entonces
porque va a dar feedback.
Ah, entonces, bueno, vamos a ver. Ellos ya, todo el mundo ya debe estar aquí, así que vamos a hablar con ellos. Ay, mira este pelo. ¿Qué voy a hacer con este pelo?
You look good. Don't worry.
Pepe, look at all this white hair, Pepe. I can't do anything about it. No puede hacer nada con este pelo ahora, así que.
Estás en el centro. Todavía.
Perfecto. Entonces, voy a meter esto aquí. Por si acaso.
¿Quieres que te traiga agua?
Ay, sí,
Déjame aquí
Q.
las-
Una botellita, algo.
No, allá atrás, que te traigan la agua.
Ah, bueno, no tanto, pero ok. Y Q, voy a manejar esto con el mouse, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Ok, perfecto.
Aunque si quieres, ni te preocupes. Eso yo lo hago, ya yo soy co-host, ¿ves?
Ok, perfecto. Así que yo ni tengo que tocar esto.
Nada, no te preocupes.
Perfecto.
Si tienes que tocar algo, bueno, lo tocas, pero...
Bueno, no voy a tener que tocar
pero bueno,
nada.
aquí tienes la...
Pues aquí voy a ver
Angelina.
todo.
You guys are too close without a mask.
Yeah, you're right, Pepe. You just, yes, you're 1,000% correct. I have mine. It's here and you're 1,000% correct. And I do have mine. Let me get it out here just in case. Mira, I got mine two-sided. Mira, Mickey Mouse on one side and Toy Story on the other.
Ok, la razón es que les recomiendo The Mask es que así da una impresión al público que debe hacer lo mismo, ¿sabes?
You think I should hold the meeting with the mask on?
You can say that you're holding, you're not having a mask because you're by yourself.
Oh, that I intended to do. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that I
Say that I'm a
intended
mask
to-
because I'm at home.
right. No, that's exactly what I intended to do. That I am the only
Okay.
one in the chambers. Yes, and I will.
And otherwise, you say that otherwise you would have a mask and that you show it that as soon as
Absolutely.
you
Yep.
start the meeting, you will.
I'm gonna make a note of that so I don't forget.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I will tell you that.
I'm gonna make a note of that right now so I don't forget.
I'll remind you.
I got it. I'm making a note. No mask. Let me see if I can get this in the hard copy of the agenda.
Oiga, Madam Mayor, this really shows the world professionalism, sorry.
The Banyan, what release are you referring to?
What we're having right now, this virtual meeting,
Yes.
is showing the world professionalism.
I hope, so hold on, Pepe. Good morning, Madam Clerk. How are you this morning? Good. Is there any way someone, well, it doesn't have to be right now, but obviously before the meeting, the sooner the better. Can I have someone bring up a hard copy of today's agenda and tomorrow's, please?
Oh, yeah, I messaged your boss.
I didn't go into, I came straight up to the chambers. I didn't want to go, I didn't need to go in. So if I could have anyone bring it up to me, that would be fantastic.
Okay, I'll take it.
Today's agenda and tomorrow's. It doesn't have to be right now, but
All of them are at your boss.
thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Pepe, I hope it shows our professionalism. I have my fingers crossed that everyone, and like I told you yesterday, the day before, it's not you that I'm worried about. You are very professional. You know exactly what to say and what not to say. It would be my colleagues that sit next to me that I'm very afraid of.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about you, sir, at all.
No,
Oh.
don't worry about anything.
I will be doing my best to control what I don't want to happen. You have my word on that.
But the fact that we're having this in here shows a lot of care and a lot of professionalism and a lack of
Venue facilities rental info.
I agree, sir.
okay. You look good, don't worry about it.
Look at all this white hair, look. I should have tried to color it, but then I was afraid it would be too dark. I've never done my own hair and I can't go anywhere to get it done, so oh well. I guess this proves I haven't done my hair, right?
Yo una vez estaba esperando a mi hija en el aeropuerto. Y entonces, to disguise myself, yo cogí un spray y me lo eché en la cabeza
Uh-huh.
para ponerme el pelo negro, para que no me descubriera, pero lo que pasa es que
Espérate, Pepe, espérate. ¿Qué tú?
Voy a unir a Chip cuando lo vean aquí, aceptan.
Ok, perfecto.
Porque yo voy a
Dale.
estar abajo.
Ok, dale, dale. ¿Y qué
Lo que-
pasó, Pepe?
lo que pasó es que empecé a sudar y entonces las gotas negras me corrieron.
What's happened to me is when I've done it at home, it's just temporary. And then sometimes I've ruined a pair of pearl earrings because it got on there. My what do you call it? My pillowcases. I've ruined pillowcases because of the temporary dye it goes on. So that's why I didn't even do it this time. I said the heck with it. I'm going gray hair and all. Oh, thank you, madam. And I don't have my mask on, so if you want to leave it there, I'll pick it up.
It's okay. Why don't y'all in the conference room, like,
Yeah, I have my mask there.
like from
As soon
here?
as I put my mask on, my makeup's gonna go all over my
I
face,
know.
so I'm not gonna put it on. Thank you, madam.
You're welcome, Mayor. I heard. Yeah, no, it's funny that you feel I want an item of.
Baja la temperatura un poquito. Sí.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I hope everybody had a nice Easter.
I did. What about you?
Good. All good.
No. Es a las 8, Q.
A las 9.
No, perdón, es a las 9. No, a las 9. Estamos aquí para practicar y... No, a las 9. Sí, no, es a las 9.
Pen, are you in the conference? Oh, Carlos, you're on?
Yes, but Q just told me he's having trouble with the audio. Q's going down. Yoli, let me ask you. The clerk is going to do the clerk is going to do her part just like always, right? She's
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
call the agenda items. So basically, this is going to follow exactly like the meetings we have here upstairs.
Yes, the only difference is you don't have an invocation.
I see that. Okay, so we're going to do this Pledge of Allegiance.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
morning.
Good morning.
Pepe, this might be a question for you. I see all these special instructions about the Zoom meeting. There's a whole page. Does this have to be read into the record?
I think that it should be. It's really not for the record because the record is reflected by the agenda. But I think that for the world, I think that we should do it.
Okay, then I am going to yield.
Clerk might do that.
I'm sorry?
Chief, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief. Pepe, then I'm going to ask the city clerk to read page 2 of this agenda out loud, which is the instructions,
Yes,
okay?
ma'am. Right.
And I will, on page 1, I will read out no, I'm gonna let the clerk do that as well. I will ask her to read out the link for the Zoom video conferencing out loud as part of her page 2. All right.
Welcome to Enter.
Carlos, you're on an audio.
Also, just for the sake of transparency and for us not to get bashed on the internet, I am going to say that we are not wearing masks, those of us that are at City Hall, because we are all in separate rooms. It's obvious the attorney is at his home office, but it's also obvious that we are at City Hall, so I'm going to put the disclaimer that we are not wearing masks because we are all in separate offices, if that's okay with you all.
That's perfect. I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
And at the same time, you say that as soon as the meeting is concluded, that you encourage everybody to wear their mask.
Yes, sir.
Dime, Dani.
Kitty, ¿qué voy a hacer?
Dime.
Para que si me puedan mover el carro, para yo tengo que mover el 6, para que pongan que estoy dentro hoy.
Voy para allá. Voy para allá
Ok,
también.
dale.
There he is, Andre Bocelli. First, thank you.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to everybody. And
Morning,
thank
we're
you.
just-
This is
You were just,
Hi.
oh,
Can you hear me?
can you hear? Okay, I can hear you. Go ahead. You were just what we needed on an Easter Sunday, Andrea. Just what we needed.
Well, I hope so because the music can help a lot.
Good morning, Mr. Penna.
Good morning, Mayor.
Hey, what do you
Good
guys
morning,
think?
Pepe.
What do you think about my white hair? Do you like it? Should I go gray?
Before you did the.
No,
Let it go and go gray?
no.
I don't know. You're beginning to look
It's
like
it's a psychological thing.
Look at all this gray hair. Hopefully you can't see
you're
it that
beginning to
much.
look like Cruella.
La mía.
No, no, dime,
Oh.
no, no, no.
Oh, sí, sí,
Good
sí.
morning. Good
Bueno,
morning, everyone.
Está en mute. Ah, ya, sí, pero Carlos está en mute. Debe ser en mute.
He's on the phone. That's why.
Oh, I see. Ya no, ya veo. Ok, Yoli me dijo, ok, perfecto.
¿Cómo se ve mi oficina?
Oh, no.
Estamos bien.
No, la pregunta debe ser, how do you look? No la oficina.
No, olvídate de mí.
That's the
I
important
don't care.
question.
That's what she wants to know.
Not the office. The office is normal. You are exquisite. So that's all that matters.
You made her day, Madam Mayor.
Office looks very professional and you look extremely professional.
In the midst of everything, yes.
In the midst of
you made my
everything
day.
is correct. Mr. Penna, where's your background?
Yes. I'm trying to find them, trust me.
I see this serious look in your face. I knew you were doing something quite serious.
I think we should, like Jolly and myself, and one close the doors because
Well,
maybe-
you're either going to do that or you're going to go on mute, one or the other. And I will say that at the beginning of the meeting that if you have no background noise,
yeah.
I'm okay with not muting, but otherwise everyone's going to go on mute.
Or maybe I'm gonna close the door anyways and put like something like meeting in progress or something. Let me do that.
Or just go on mute, Canary.
Aneria, I'm just gonna,
Mute.
Aneria, I'm gonna advise the girls not to transfer any calls up.
Okay.
back here.
Good.
Where are the rest of the commissioners?
Not yet, Mr. Villalobos. Good
Hi,
morning.
He needs at 9.
Morning.
Gina. We're gonna go on a Zoom meeting, tell everybody no phone calls transfer back here at all.
Okay.
Thank you and good morning. Bye.
Neri, I don't think you were in there when I was asking Pepe. I'm gonna obviously open the meeting and say, I'll read the first part, like page 1 of the agenda. And then when I rejoin the meeting with Zoom conferencing, I want you to read out that link on page 1.
Okay, the HTTPS Zoom, the /zoom.us/J, all that.
Correct. And I'm going to ask you at that point also, after I open the meeting, the city attorney suggested that we read page 2 out loud, the instructions. So I'm gonna have you read page 2. Then
The whole page?
the attorney is recommending that. Yes, ma'am. Pepe, am I correct?
You want to, I'll read it, Neri.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
If you want to, I will read it. I will read it. Okay?
Okay, Mr. Villalobos, I can read it. It's a long page. You have to be patient.
All right, so who's reading it? I need to know.
I'll read it. I'll
Okay.
read it. It's okay.
All right, so then you will read page 2. Then we'll start the meeting, okay? I want all that read out loud before the meeting. Then we'll go into the pledge and the roll call and all that, okay? Okay, Neri?
Okay.
All right, so let's see what else.
Okay, Madam Mayor, for the Pledge of
sí,
Allegiance,
dame un
okay, you have the
momentico.
flag there. It's fine.
Mari,
What are you guys gonna do? I'm gonna ask everyone to stand.
Just stand and
I guess
maybe,
you can look at the flag behind me.
yeah.
All
We'll
right,
use your flag.
and that's actually what I will say, to use the flag, the flag here in the chambers.
I want you to know that I have a shirt and tie, but I cannot get up.
But I didn't need that visual, sir. I did not need that visual. All right, so you can pretend. How's that?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
under the circumstances that you're on a Zoom and adjustments, because once everybody stands, they're not going to be able, nobody's going to be able to see them standing.
Okay.
It's proper to go ahead and dispense with the prayer and pledge.
Well, we dispensed with the prayer already. I have to ask my attorney and my clerk for protocol. Is it proper to dispense with the pledge as well? I don't have
think so.
that answer. What do you guys?
I don't think so, Madam Mayor.
I have no clue, so I'm asking. Pepe?
Only because you're supposed to stand when you say the pledge.
I agree. That's why I just said he was gonna stand, but Pepe doesn't have any pants on, so he can't stand.
We contacted the rest of the commissioners.
I did. I sent out a text message to everyone advising them that the meeting is at 9 o'clock and that we are already on practicing.
I need an answer to the pledge before we go on to something else.
Let's go ahead and have the pledge, and we can say that just because of the circumstances that we will pledge, and we don't have to say that we're going to stand or not stand, you know, we just.
All right, I won't leave that out, but I'd like, well, that'll be disrespectful if we don't stand, so I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna leave the rest up to you guys. I will
Okay.
stand for the pledge, so the rest is up to you all.
Okay.
Let's see what else.
Mr. Pena, you're not breathing. Mr. Pena, after this, would you care to give me a call? I need to ask you a couple of questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go in.
What do I see you bright and I see myself dark?
I'm in a room with a lot of light.
Turn on some lamp or something, Pepe.
Turn on.
You can turn on the light behind you.
Maybe
if
the
you
lamp
want.
4, 5, 6 lamps.
Those lamps.
Maybe those next to you or behind you.
Pepe, another question. I'm sorry for all the questions. I just want to be sure that this meeting goes as well as possible. The clerk will be reading the agenda items, okay? But does she have to read the entire resolution as well?
No, you see, the gist of the problem, And I suggest that the clerk reads the heading and I will read the rest.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
proper.
That's fine.
Just read the heading and I'll read the rest, okay?
Okay, then that's going to be for both items. The clerk will read the heading of A, and then when we get to it, you read the resolution. The clerk reads the heading for B, and then you read the actual resolution, yes?
But I'm not gonna read the entire resolution. I mean, all I have to say is that we're here for the resolution,
Okay, that's fine.
okay?
You do whatever you have to do, sir.
Right.
However you have to do it works for me.
Madam Mayor, if I may make a recommendation,
Yes.
because we're on Zoom and this is an official meeting, I think everybody should have their phones in either mute or vibrating.
I will be saying that. Well, it won't matter because we're gonna all be on mute. But yes, I'm going to say that as well. I have a
Yeah,
list of,
just in case.
yeah, I have a list of things I will be saying at the beginning of the meeting.
Thank you.
Everybody. No, no. Van a estar en su casa. Solo Juan, Yoli y yo. No pueden hacer ruido nadie.
¿A qué hora voy yo? A cualquier delito, porque vamos a esta oficina grande que tiene allá, esa es la que me la lo tenía más cerca, y entonces, yo está en el conference room. En el conference room. Entonces, ¿está arriba allá? Mira, el commissioner, Bryce Mayer, que hola. Aquí hay el grupo. Thank you very much.
Andy's there.
I saw it. And I hear Luciano, so he's somewhere in City Hall.
¿Qué pasa con them? Are you going, John?
Pero eso es un síndrome nuevo. Tenemos que ponerlo
HTTPS ://.
It is online.
Hello.
Good morning, Gandhi.
Good morning.
https://siri.us/2/.
Candy, conecta la cámara.
La tengo conectada.
¿No? Espera, dale.
https://zoom.
Start video y toca start video. Abajo, en la
I
esquina.
did.
Ahí.
Hey,
Yay, Candy.
¿qué pasa? ¿Cómo estamos, Juan?
605.
Bien, ¿cómo estás?
Like to vote public comments, person wishing to speak like public
Sí, pero estamos practicando aquí para que todo el mundo esté.
speak.
Okay.
You can test your connection to Zoom by clicking the following link.
Candy,
Dime.
welcome to the first century.
Welcome. Good morning to all.
Good morning.
Eddie Diaz Padron is there.
I see him. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Commissioner Blanes. I love it. I love it. I love it, sir. that is so you. I love it.
I don't see
being inside.
If I wasn't sitting in chambers, I would be outside as well. I need Luciano's camera on. Somebody show him.
one.
Which one?
You go to the
Luciano's video on. I need Luciano's camera on.
We're gonna be at a commission meeting. Where is this?
It's in the commission office.
Yeah.
Commissioner Blanes is just at the pool there.
I love it. I love it.
Is my mic working?
Yes, sir. I can hear you perfectly.
Pili. Por adelante y por atrás. Oh, wow.
Is somebody going to show Luciano how to turn the camera on, please?
I believe Mr. Pena is going to do that.
Also, Madam Mayor. Espérate. Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Me and Quintana arranged for example, if someone wants to call and be part of the meeting by audio through the phone, and also people can send emails. Q will see them and I will see them also on my email. So if at any time during public comments or on any item, and if I see comments through email, when you allow me, I will inform you that we have an email by such and such person. If you want me to read it for the record, I'll read it.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
At public comments, which is number 3 on the agenda, if we don't have any, will you just notify me as they come in throughout the meeting? Yes?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I'll send you, and Q will let you know too through our chat. Yes.
Okay. And what about phone calls? Do we have a phone for people to access with a phone call?
Yes, people can access the meeting through the phone. For an audio version of the meeting, they will be able to listen to the meeting, and if they want to participate, they through a phone call will know, because they can leave a message.
Who's monitoring the phone calls? It's going to be a live phone call or message?
Actually, for audio, it's going to be a live phone call, but Q will control that, because he can mute those calls and people can leave a message or people can talk and say that they want to participate, and we'll know.
Okay, so who's going to let me know if someone from the public wants to speak?
Okay, I'll get a message here and Q will get it also. So
you're
if I
gonna
see
let me
it,
know.
I'll let you know.
If we have somebody live on the line who wants to speak.
Yes,
And
and you have the option if you see someone, because people cannot be like live and wanted to talk, they cannot interrupt, and they and that's on the instructions that I will read.
Correct.
Yes, so you have the capability of muting people if people want to interrupt or talk during the meeting. Just like in a physical meeting.
Yes, I see it here. I see it here. Now, my question is, if I do have someone who wants to speak, what do you think is a proper place in the agenda for me?
You unmute the person, and we ask, anyways, if it is a virtual meeting, they have to state their names and address for the record.
Yes, but in a regular commission meeting, in a commission chamber meeting, that takes place at a certain time. This is not the regular forum. So when do I?
The same here, Madam Mayor.
Commissioner Diaz
During
Padrón
public comments.
I think that Commissioner Diaz Padrón is trying to send us a message that he has a punching bag.
I see that. So during public comments, Madam Clerk?
Don't mess with him.
Neri, but public.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Get another meeting. If I get a call or an email after public comments, when do I let them speak?
Okay, people can email before, after. If they email after with a question or concern, we can answer it according to what happened at the meeting, obviously. It's like attending any other meeting, physical meeting.
Did we get any emails in as of yet? Any questions or did we get any emails yet?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Did we get any calls about this meeting from the public as to how, what, when, why, or where?
No, not yet.
All right. Hey, Yoli, did you?
Yoli's in my office asking me, you
Yoli,
swipe,
did you
right? You swipe to the
yes.
right.
You about my concern about collecting
you can
the
see
data?
4 at a time from a phone. I don't know, from a computer, maybe you can see more.
Pero arriba.
Okay, so you'll see more than me.
Did you ask you about collecting that data that I asked you about?
Wait, she's stepping into her office right now.
Hello?
Q, ¿cómo te aviso aquí? Okay. Yoli, did you ask Mr. Q about collecting that data that I asked you about?
No, I didn't, because I did not see him this morning, but I'll call him now.
Please, that's very important. I need to know that data during the meeting and after the meeting.
Got it. On it right now.
Thank you.
Andy?
Yes.
Okay, as soon as you're done talking to him, we're going to start the meeting. After you let him know that, Yoli.
Yes, ma'am.
$8:59.
Anna, why are you on twice?
Got 2 days.
Because why?
Have,
No lo está dando nadie porque
And I can't hear you.
solamente tenemos los que están ahí.
And I can't hear you.
I had 2 days.
Hey, guys, I lost Luciano. Oh, Luciano's gone again. I lost Luciano. He turned off his video. Luciano, I need your video on, please, so I can start the meeting.
9 o'clock, guys.
Someone please help Luciano turn his camera on. Okay, perfect. Are we all ready?
Yes.
Mr. Q, vamos a empezar.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, if I may?
Q, don't start yet. Yes, Yoli.
Okay, Madam Mayor, I already requested that information and we're capable of producing some of it. Not through Zoom, but through other mechanisms, through other
Okay,
platforms.
That's all I need to know. Perfect, thank you. Okay, are we all ready to go?
All set?
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Mr. Q, empezamos.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the City of West Miami first ever virtual Zoom meeting. This is a special emergency commission meeting. Today is Monday, April 13 at 9:04 a.m. And because this is a special Zoom video conferencing, I'm going to ask my city clerk, Aneri Gonzalez, to read out loud the link for the public to join the Zoom meeting. Aneri, please.
Good morning. These are the instructions to participate in the virtual commission meeting. The city commission meeting will be held as a virtual commission meeting with elected officials and city staff participating through video conferencing. This virtual meeting will be held on the Zoom platform. Members of the public may join the meeting via Zoom at https://zoom.us/j/3255236059. Live remote public comments. The City of West Miami is providing live remote public comments. The person wishing to submit the live remote public comments will appear live on the TV screens in council chambers during the meeting and will be afforded 3 minutes to speak. You can test your connection to Zoom by clicking on the following link, http://zoom.us/test. Please submit your first and last name and make sure that you have working microphone and a working web camera so you can participate in the live streaming of the meeting. We thank you for participating in this service and ask you to please wait patiently for your turn to speak. There are instructions to access the virtual commission meeting by phone. First, dial any of these phone numbers within the United States. 1-646-558-8656, 131.
We cannot hear.
I think Annette froze.
Hello.
Hello.
I think Annette froze.
Administrator accepts and gives you access to the meeting. Please note that Governor DeSantis Executive Order number 20-69 suspended the requirements of section 112.286 Florida Statute of Florida Sunshine Law that a quorum to be present in person and that a local governing body will meet at a specific public place. The executive order also allows local government bodies to utilize communications media technology, such as telephonic and video conferences for local government body meetings. That concludes the instructions, Madam Mayor.
Madam Mayor, point of order.
Yeah, I got a suggestion before we go on. If anyone that is not talking, they can turn off their microphone, and that will eliminate the background noise and the feedback. And we'll all
Commissioner,
be able to hear better.
We are already.
Okay, order, Madam Mayor. Hello. Everybody's frozen there.
This meeting. Okay, so now that this is exactly when I was. Yes, sir.
Hello. Madam Mayor, you're frozen. Madam Clerk, you're frozen.
It's connection at City Hall, obviously.
Hello.
Quintana. I think that, there we go.
Mr. Q, we keep losing internet connectivity, at least I do. This is the second time I've lost internet connectivity. Can it, please raise your hand if you've lost internet connectivity throughout this twice during this meeting.
I think is you, Madam Mayor, the city manager and the city clerk.
Okay, so it's apparently here on site. Chief, have you lost internet connectivity during this meeting? Can you shake your head? No? No, okay, so I did, Aneri did, and the city manager did.
And Luciano.
And Luciano, okay.
But we have cured this. We have cured this, Madam Mayor. May I have a point of order, please?
Yes, sir, you may.
Okay, in addition to what the clerk read, we have 6 dedicated lines for people to call in. And when you connect with the machine and we'll ask for a meeting, then dial 325-532-6059 followed by a pound sign. And now may I suggest that the clerk calls for the roll call.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to do some housekeeping first before we do that, and we are going to. First of all, as Commissioner Blanes stated, I need everyone to go on mute until you're ready to speak. When you are ready to speak, I need you to raise your hand so that we can conduct this meeting in the proper fashion, just as we would do here in chambers. And for the sake of clarity, because if we're all talking at once, there's no way anyone's going to be able to know what we're saying. And also, please, everyone stay on camera. Please try not to leave your seat unless it's an emergency, so that we are all visible to each other during the meeting. Also, I'd like everyone to know that we are not wearing masks during this meeting because we are all either in our private offices. I'm here in chambers alone. Once we leave, we exit our offices. If we're at City Hall, please be sure that we do put on our masks. Thank you. With that said, Madam Clerk, roll call, please. I'm sorry, no, first of all, my mistake. We have the Pledge of Allegiance, first and foremost, on our agenda today, and it's, I think, quite fitting that we all say the Pledge of Allegiance together today. So, Pledge of Allegiance, I will lead. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Roll call, please.
Item 2, roll call. Mayor Rhonda Rodriguez.
Present.
Vice Mayor Luciano Suarez. Vice Mayor.
Present.
Commissioner
My
Candida
hand.
Blanca.
Present.
Commissioner Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Diaz-Padrón.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item, please.
Item 3, public comments. And as of this time, Madam Mayor, we haven't received any email or call in regards to public comments.
Thank you. I'm going to ask everyone to go on mute because I am getting background from someone. I'm not sure who, but please mute your microphone until you ask to speak. Everyone go on mute, please.
We lost you, Madam Mayor.
Commissioner Suarez, I need you to mute your microphone. Commissioner Blanca, please mute your microphone. Mr. Attorney, mute your microphone, please. Commissioner Suarez, mute your, thank you. Pepe, mute your microphone, please.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. All right. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item 4 under special agenda items, item 4A. This is a resolution with attachment of the City of West Miami, Florida, in accordance with the Florida Governor's Executive Order 20-69, adopting rules of procedure for virtual City Commission meetings that take place during the pendency of the state of emergency declared in Florida Governor's Executive Order 20-52.
Mr. Attorney, I believe this is your item, sir. Mr. Attorney, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, well, this is a rule of procedure that the clerk already read, and this is a set of rules that establishes how we conduct a virtual meeting. So since the clerk already read it, it's for you to discuss it and possibly make a motion, and the motion second, and it will be set for approval or disapproval. Is there any questions?
Does anyone have a question or comment on item 4A?
And you want to call the question? Are
Mr.
you calling the question?
I am calling the question. There are none. Does anyone have a question or comment on 4A?
Move.
They have been moved.
I have a motion.
We
I need a second.
We need a second.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, on the motion by Commissioner Diaz-Padrón and second by Commissioner Blanes. Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Suarez?
Yes.
Mayor Rodriguez?
And I vote yes.
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item on the agenda, please.
Item 4B, a resolution with attachment of the City of West Miami, Florida, as authorized by Governor's Executive Order 20-52 to determine the time and method of administering oath of office of the elected mayor and city commissioners, determining the terms of office of commissioners elected on February 28, 2020, determining the methodology of selection of the office of the vice mayor.
Okay, this is a resolution that was presented to you all with attachments, and the attachments are the report that the city clerk made on the February 28th, 2020 to the Elections Commission. And then it has an attachment as to my opinion of March 2nd, 2020, as to how we should determine the terms and mayor, vice mayor by lot. And what it was suggested is that I think Manager Yolanda Aguilar had the idea together with Chief Carlos Avila.
I need a little bit more information than that, sir. Someone needs to either continue or clarify what you just said. Madam Manager, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning to the mayor, city commissioner, city attorney, and all in attendance at this meeting. We had a conversation, the chief and I had a conversation because of the difficult moment in time that we're living in on how we can best provide a methodology, if you would, for the selection of terms of office and later on the selection of the office of vice mayor. And obviously we need to find a mechanism which is videotaped and aired publicly so that we can meet all of our transparency issues and obviously the open and sunshine government regulations. So that said, the chief and I discussed the possibility of getting 3 cups of coffee, small cups, and putting in 2 cups that contemplate the number 4. And then the 3rd cup would be a number 2. Those cups would be, they will contemplate a note or a sticky pad, if you would, under the actual cup. At that moment in time, once the clerk prepares those 2 numbers, we submit the cups to the chief of police upstairs in chambers while he is videotaped by our IT department, and of course maintaining social distances. And somewhat, if you would, of playing dominoes with those 3 cups. And we basically, he's being videotaped as he changes the position of the cups. And then come 12 o'clock, in the order that the names of the candidates, in this case, which would have appeared on the ballot, and that would be by alphabetical order, they will enter through the main door of the chambers, select one of the cups, each one of them, our re-elected commissioners would. In this case, the first person would be Commissioner Candida Blanca. The second person would be Commissioner Eric Diaz-Padrón. And the third person would be Vice Mayor Luciano Suarez. They will each select a cup, and as they come in, they will exit the back door so that we can maintain social distancing. At that moment in time, we will disclose to the public, to the general public, the outcome of the cups and the terms of office, the determination by lot. And then the determination of the office of vice mayor will be decided by the toss of a coin, as it has happened numerous occasions throughout our election history in the city of West Miami. That concludes the recommendation, Chief. I know you're on. Are there any variations from what I just reported?
No, ma'am.
Any questions, Madam Mayor?
I'm going to ask the table one at a time. If you will physically raise your hand so I can see you and allow you the microphone if you have any questions or comments. Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, I see you've raised your hand. Go ahead, sir.
All right, I'm okay with it. Obviously, I would prefer a methodology that we don't have to send people into City Hall, given the nature of what we're dealing with. But I'm okay with it if that is the only way that can be come up with. My preference would be a situation where we do not have to come into a physical building.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Either virtually raise your hand on the screen or physically raise your hand so I can see you visually. If you have a question, comment, or concern. All right, I'm going to ask you individually. Commissioner Suarez, do you have a question, comment, or concern on methodology that our city manager just explained? Commissioner Suarez, do you have a question, comment, or concern on the methodology that our city manager just went over?
No, I don't have any question at this moment.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Blanca, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns on the methodology that our city manager just went over?
No, I agree with that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Blanes, questions, comments, or concerns? Yes, sir, I see you. On microphone. Unmute your microphone, Commissioner Blanes, so I can hear you.
I'm sorry, I just had some residents going by and waving.
Oh, I thought you wanted to speak. Okay. Okay, sir.
What am I supposed to wave about?
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns on the methodology that the city manager just detailed.
No.
Thank you, sir. I have no questions, comments, or concerns on the methodology that the city manager just went over. Mr. Attorney, I am going to yield to you and your legal advice and expertise. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns on the methodology?
Madam Mayor, all you need now, now that you heard from everybody, now you have a motion and a second and a vote on it.
Okay, Madam Clerk. I'm sorry.
We need a motion.
I'm sorry, you are correct. Do I have a motion on item 4B?
Motion.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Madam Clerk, call the vote, please.
Yes, on the motion, Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Candida Blanca, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Suarez, how do you vote?
I vote no. I am opposite to the personal opinion of the lawyer, the city attorney. My vote is no to the resolution.
Okay, there's
Mayor, excuse me, Mr. Attorney, Mayor Rodriguez, how do you vote?
Yes.
4-1, item passes. 4 yes, 1 no.
now you have to determine when you will schedule the time and place to determine the terms of office.
Mr.
May I,
Attorney, if I
Madam
may,
Mayor?
I believe, sir, there's an already agenda out with that. That has already been scheduled according to an agenda that I have in my hand. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
you
Madam
have-
Mayor.
That's scheduled for Tuesday, April 14th at 12 noon. Am I correct, Madam Clerk?
Correct, Madam Mayor.
I also think we just said it in the resolution.
As part of the resolution.
Yeah, but when the city manager was making the proposal, I thought that was incorporated into the resolution. And given that it said right at time and place, even though it was already scheduled, the mayor is right. She said the time and place, she said at 12 o'clock, this will happen. I thought that's incorporated in what we just voted on.
So be it. Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. So my understanding is that the resolution as a whole have been passed 4-1. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Attorney.
Okay. Then the next item.
Madam Mayor, next item. Item 4C, report by city attorney on the issue of appeal by Banyan Healthcare on denial of special use permit.
Mr. Attorney, I do believe that this is on the agenda at your request, and this is your item, sir. So you have the floor.
As you know, Banyam went out to the city of West Miami, and they filed a petition for special use permit. That petition was examined by the Office of the Planning and Zoning. It went out to the Planning and Zoning Board. It was the recommended denial. It then went to the commission. It was recommended denial. And Banyam filed a writ of certiorari before the appellate court. We have been diligently attempting to see whether we can have a amicable resolution. And we have received this letter from them, email from them on April 8th. In light of the city expressed representation that it cannot litigate and pursue settlement simultaneously, it is necessary to proceed with litigation. I repeat, they say that we deem necessary to proceed
Mr.
with.
Attorney, Mr. Attorney, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt. I need everyone to mute their microphone, please. I'm picking up background from someone. Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Please proceed.
Banyam has sent an email stating that it deemed necessary to proceed with litigation. Please confirm the date. The city will submit its reply, brief, and it's signed by Rick Morgan, the attorney. Now, that means that they have elected not to continue negotiations, and they want us to file a brief. The 11th Judicial Circuit Chief Judge Bertie Lasoto has extended all proceedings in this appeal on the June 29th. So my report to you at this point is that number one, the Banyam does not wish to continue any sort of settlement agreement, and our response is due on June 29th. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
That's the last.
I think the Commissioner Blanca needs to have a question.
Yes, but if I may, Mr. Attorney, point of privilege. I do believe this was just a report by you, and there was to be no discussion on this item. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, correct.
Okay, then there is to be no discussion on this item. That was only a report requested by you to be on the agenda. Commissioner, is your
Attorney
commissioner?
to my client is to advise my clients anytime that there is an emergency issue, and I consider that this was an emergency since we have been attempting to reason and reach an amicable conclusion. However, they have requested, they have, one, ceased to negotiate, and number two, they have requested for us to respond to the writ of certiorari.
Yes, sir. So there is to be no discussion on that, correct?
Correct.
Okay, Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item 5, good of the order.
I'm going to ask during the good of the order, Madam Clerk, have we had anyone from the public that has asked to speak? Have we got a phone call or an email from any public that wishes to participate in this virtual Zoom meeting?
No, Madam Mayor, not as of this time.
Okay, I have nothing for the good of the order. I am going to ask anyone to raise their hand if they have something for the good of the order. Either raise your hand virtually or physically so I can see you. Commissioner Suarez is the only one I see asking to speak during the good of the order. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Suarez. My apologies. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Well, the point is that today is the 13th of the month, and I suggest the defer the renewal of the contract of the engineers and the city attorney renewal, defer this until we can have a regular commission meeting, because it should be, but that's my suggestion. Defer engineers and city attorney renewal of the contract until we have a regular commission meeting. The discussion.
You're asking to defer something that's not on the agenda, sir. I'm not sure what you're asking to defer. That item's not on the agenda.
Well, I asked the manager Friday to put in the agenda.
Okay, let's see. I have Mr. Penna. I'm sorry, no. I have the manager with request to speak. Go ahead, Madam Manager.
Yes, if I may clarify, I had a conversation with Commissioner Suarez over the weekend. I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Suarez over the weekend, wherein he requested that due to the nature of the circumstances, that the ratification of the city attorney and city engineer, which would normally appear the first meeting after you have a fully inducted new commission or re-elected commission in this case, the items, both items be ratified. He requested over the weekend that this item be deferred and asked that this may be included in the either in the agenda for today or the agenda for tomorrow. So that's why the matter is being brought to your attention at this time.
Thank you, Madam Manager. Mr. Penna, you have a question, sir? Go ahead.
The August 24th, April 24th, Arbor Day is coming up on us. I need to postpone that also.
Do you need a vote to postpone that, Mr. Penna?
No, just so everybody's aware that we're going to have to move it back.
Okay, we are all aware. Proceed with moving that back. Thank you, Mr. Penna. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns on the information the city manager just provided to us?
Just a comment, Madam Clerk, you're taking notes on this and you're going to have minutes on this proceedings, right?
Yes, Mr. Attorney.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Madam Manager, Madam Clerk, somebody tell me where we are at this point with Commissioner Suarez's request to defer something that's not on the agenda. Yes.
I will yield to the attorney's opinion. Exactly. It's an item that is not on the agenda.
Okay, Mr. Attorney.
I believe that Yolanda Aguilar said that it was not for today, but for tomorrow. Is that correct, Madam Manager?
That's what was requested from me over the weekend. And it was supposed to, I talked to Aneri very early this morning when I got here, and I advised her that we may have an additional item for the agenda tomorrow. However, we have a 4-day rule that we need to observe as well.
You can waive that by majority rule.
Okay.
Move to object or to approve it, or?
We need a motion. Yes.
I
need your vote.
One at a time. Raise your hand. One at a time. Raise your hand. Either verbal, either visually or online. Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, you have your hand raised. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, tomorrow, the meeting for tomorrow, we said that at 12 we would be selecting the cups or however it was. Are we having a commission meeting after that?
May I?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
That's a special commission meeting. And
Mayor, I have a question.
Vice Mayor,
I have a question.
Mayor, please raise your
Mayor,
hand.
I have a question.
Vice Mayor, I raise your hand. I know you have a question.
Mayor, Mayor, I have a question. I asked Yolanda for the next.
Vice Mayor, I know you have a question. The clerk is speaking. I need us to speak one at a time.
Well, give me the microphone to me. Advise me when you got the microphone.
I will
For
give
me.
you the microphone as soon as the clerk is finished speaking. She has the microphone right now. Go ahead, Madam
But
Clerk.
the manager make a mistake. The manager make a mistake.
Vice Mayor, we're gonna speak one at a time. Please wait until I acknowledge you to speak. The clerk is speaking right now. Please, Madam Clerk, continue.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, in response to your question, this is a special commission meeting. It'll be a special virtual meeting, has been advertised already, and that'll be the commission meeting. One of the items will be the determination by law of the Office of Vice Mayor and Commissioners pursuant to our charter, Section 303D. So the whole procedure will be a commission meeting.
I
And
understand that,
minutes
but
will
I'm
be
saying
taken.
for logistically, I'm going in at what time? To do the physical drawing, or I'm going in at what time?
At 12 o'clock.
And then when am I getting back to my computer to get onto the commission meeting?
That's, I was not taking that into consideration when the agenda was published, and it's something that we gonna have to determine as of right now, because we do need time in order to get back to a computer, a phone, in order to participate in the meeting.
Okay.
Or since it'll take place at the commission chambers, it is my recommendation, maybe, this is for your consideration, maybe taking the right distance, social distancing, participate at a meeting televised at everybody, like the three commissioners in question, to separate themselves at a certain distance and participate in chambers of the meeting.
No, I appreciate that, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, that's my recommendation.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. Vice Mayor, you have the microphone, sir.
All right. The manager make a mistake. I did not ask her the meeting today or tomorrow. I told her defer the renewal of the contract until the first regular meeting, maybe a month from now, whatever was the time, but not for today or tomorrow. I asked her for a regular commission meeting, defer until the regular commission meeting can be done the discussion.
Okay, so there's no issue tonight, today, Madam Mayor.
No issue about what, sir? What are you referring to?
There's no issue, since the Vice Mayor stated that it would be deferred until a month from now. There's no issue at this point.
Well, sir, it's obvious to me even before this, because that item is not, it's not an agenda item. So we're deferring something that wasn't on the agenda.
Then consider that as a comment.
Yes, sir, thank you. All right, so.
Mayor.
Yes, Vice Mayor.
Hello.
Yes, Vice
What
Mayor.
I told Yolanda, defer the renewal of the contract until the first regular meeting. And the meeting of today and meeting of tomorrow, I do not consider a regular meeting. So what I told the manager, defer until the regular meeting. I don't know when we will have a regular meeting, but I asked the manager defer until the regular meeting. That's what I am presenting to all of you.
Vice Mayor, if I may, there's nothing to defer because it's not on the agenda. So it goes without saying that that is not going to come up until a regular meeting because it's not on an agenda. So that's.
I know. That's what I told you. I told you before. I told the manager Friday. I told you before.
Okay, so there's nothing to defer, sir. It's not on the agenda. It will come up whenever it's on on an agenda. It's not on an agenda now, so it goes without saying that that discussion will not come up again until the next meeting, if it's on the
But I
agenda.
want to clarify to you that those contracts, it maybe are until the 18th of April, 2020. And 18th of April, 2020 will be next week. And I don't want to be automatically
That meeting
renewed.
was canceled.
We should be discussed.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk, you have your hand up?
Yes, alternatively to what I've said before, also I would recommend maybe to conduct the determination by lot, take a break and reconvene at a later date on that date for the commission, to continue the commission meeting.
No, wait a minute, I did not understand that. What is it that you're recommending?
Okay, starting the meeting at 12 o'clock tomorrow on April 14, proceeding with the determination by lot of the officers of the mayor and commissioners, and then take a break and call back the meeting to order like half an hour later, an hour later, and reconvene the meeting for discussion and taking the items, the rest of the items on the agenda. So the commissioners participate and have enough time to come back to their computers, to their houses, to participate virtually in the meeting.
I apologize, but I just don't want, I do not understand what's going on.
If I can explain, Pepe, if I can explain, my concern, my question was, at 12 o'clock, we are supposed to, Commissioner Suarez and Commissioner Blanca, we're supposed to go and select the cups or whatever it was, the lot. It's also a special commission meeting. So my question was, if we're at 12 o'clock in city chambers selecting something, what time are we supposed to be on the camera at our computers for the meeting? This is a special commission meeting. So that's what the city clerk is talking about, is when we're going to appear in the camera if we're also in City Hall at that time.
I would assume that everybody should be in the camera tomorrow at noon.
So then when do we select the lot?
I'm sorry?
So then when do we select the cups?
I think that pursuant to the agenda that the clerk has published is tomorrow.
Right, but at what time?
At noon.
Yeah, but I can't be in two places at once. I can't be selecting the lots at the city chambers and in front of my computer in my house.
Yeah, I got a suggestion.
Go ahead, Commissioner Blanes.
Why don't we do it all virtually? That way they don't have to be there physically. You know, the camera can pan onto the cups. Cups will be numbered or lettered, and they pick one.
As long as I have 6 feet of social distance and everyone with their mask on, I'm fine with that. But I must have 6 feet social distancing and masks being worn.
Well, that's what he's saying. I believe he's saying that we have the same situation, but instead of going into City Hall and picking it, it's live and you pick it from the camera. And then
I'm sorry.
pick it up.
You did say virtually, so I'm sorry. You did say virtually. My apologies. Yes, my apologies. I was still going through my head what was said before. My apologies, Commissioner. I understand you now. Virtual. You're saying for the whole for the entire thing to be done virtually, as opposed to physically being at City Hall.
That's what I said, yes.
Thank you. I totally misunderstood you. Anyone else? Commissioner Blanca has her hand up. Go
Yes.
ahead. Chief, you will be next, sir. Commissioner Blanca.
Okay, I would like to do it personally, no virtual.
Thank you, Commissioner Blanca. Chief Avila, go ahead, sir. You had your hand up.
Yes, ma'am. If I may, if you do that lot, and this is just me giving my thoughts from the outside looking in. If you do it virtually, it will create confusion, and at the end, somebody may say, no, that's not the cup that I meant. I meant the one on the right.
Chief, I believe you froze. I cannot. Chief, you're frozen. You have frozen on Major, I see you laughing. Chief, hold that thought. You're gonna have to repeat yourself. Okay, Chief, you're live again. Go. Chief, you're live.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know where I left off, but.
You left off. Just say the whole thing again, sir, please. Say the whole thing again.
Yes, in my humble opinion, if you try to do the picking of the lot, which however you want to call it, virtually, it'll lead itself for confusion. And later on, possibly, issues of, I didn't mean the one on the left, I meant the one on the right, or I didn't say number one, I said number two. Look what's happened here several times. The video has frozen. So I think in an abundance of caution and just for transparency's sake, I think in person is the only way you can do this, where you will not have any kind of argument later on.
Thank you, Chief. I have a lot of hands. I'm going to tell you the order. I'm going to call you. Commissioner Blanca raised her hand first. Commissioner Diaz-Padrón was second. Major was third. So Commissioner Blanca first, Commissioner Diaz-Padrón second, Major third. Go ahead, Commissioner Blanca.
I agree what the chief of police said. I would like to do it personally.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, go ahead.
Okay, so that's that. I'm back to my original question is, just tell me what time so we can publish it, I guess. What time I'm selecting at City Hall and what time I need to be in front of my computer.
Thank you. Hold that question, sir, please. We will get an answer for you. Major, you're next.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So going back to what the chief said, yeah, that's probably the best thing to do, is to actually do it live and just maintain that social distancing. All we got to do here is shift to the left, which means just be early. So do it an hour before, half an hour before the meeting. That way everybody has enough time to get back to their computers. Just a suggestion.
Thank you, Major. Someone else had their hand. Okay.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Suarez,
Yes.
go ahead. Vice Mayor, go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Neri, you'll be next. Vice Mayor, go ahead.
I agree with Commissioner Blanca. We do personally. Remember, make it simple. Make it simple, keys. Make it simple. We are a couple of blocks from the City Hall. We come here, we do personally. Don't complicate these things just for nothing. Please, I agree with Blanca, make personally. And I agree with the chief, make personal.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Neri,
Thank
your
you.
hand raised.
Yes, just to clarify, the meeting has been advertised at 12 o'clock. We cannot start a meeting an hour prior from the time that it was advertised. Just a clarification.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Manager, you have your hand raised.
Yes, Madam Mayor, and this is just a suggestion. We do the process the way the commission determines, obviously. And then maybe after that, you can take a few minutes break to allow everybody to go back either into their office, maintaining the social distance, or back home or to their offices and continue the meeting. Sort of like once you have all the commissioners come in person, select their cups, a determination is made, and you continue the meeting and give everybody a break, and you come back and then you publicly disclose the outcome of the process. I don't know if that would be legal. Mr. Attorney may want to chime in on this.
Let me suggest something, guys. I mean, you don't have to, I mean, the idea is to have it public so everybody can see it. One commissioner can come at a time with a mask before the chief and pick up a number or a cup or whatever. And that can be live. The commissioner leaves and the next commissioner enters. Okay? And that can be live. And the third commissioner, the second commissioner leaves and the third commissioner enters. And that can be live. And after the determination of who's going to get the 2 4-year terms, or those two can be done as you suggested by via a like it had been done before. It can also be live, and everybody work their mask and keep their social distance. But the thing is that if you have live, as the very well and apt city clerk suggested, you cannot advertise at 12 and start at an hour before and then adjourn and do it again. So do it one at a time. The commission leaves, the next commission comes and does it before the chief and before the mayor if they want to be. So nobody has any questions about the legality of the process. But I would suggest to follow as the able city clerks stated, that it should be done the way that it was advertised.
Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, Mr. Attorney. It's not a concern. My only question is, and this is really it's not a super complicated thing. I just need an answer so that we all don't have confusion tomorrow. After we're done picking the lots, what time are we gonna be on the camera in front of our screens like we are right now at 12:10? Are we gonna do that at 12:30? I just need to know when you want me in front of the screen.
We do it immediately. I mean, you select by alphabetical order who comes first, who comes second, who comes third, and before the chief, and that commissioner enters, picks up whatever the chief suggested, and that commissioner leaves. The chief will announce at the time the term that particular commissioner selected, and the next one will come over, and then the third. So it can be done simultaneously, one at a time, as the clerk suggested.
So, Mr. Attorney, are you
back and so on and so forth? So it's a really very fluid way of doing it. You know, you do it right there before the chief and before the mayor. So there's the mayor and the chief does not have any don't have any interest in one way or the other. So they could be totally neutral referees. So and of course the clerk should be there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not disputing the transparency of it. I'm just asking, like, we're all right now on our computers in front of our screens, right? Is the special commission meeting, am I going to have to sit in front of my screen like I am right now at some point?
You might be at some point before the screen. What I suggest is this: the manager and the chief made a suggestion that everybody approved.
Right. No, I'm not disputing that. I'm asking logistically.
Okay, logistically, the chief will wear a mask, and Commissioner Blanca by alphabetical order comes first, and then we'll select the cup or the hat or whatever, and then the chief will get out and will say Commissioner Blanca selected 4. So that would be the term of Commissioner Blanca. And then you will come in and you selected whatever, and that will be your term. And then Vice Mayor Suarez will come, and that can be aired right there before the chief.
Yeah, I don't think my question is being understood. Does anybody else understand what what I'm getting at? I don't think I'm being clear.
Commissioner, I believe I completely understand what you're saying. May this might clarify. I think the city attorney might be saying you will not be going back to your personal computer. I think he's saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that you will stay, everyone will stay at City Hall, obviously separate in separate rooms, and then we will do the flipping of the coin here at City Hall. So no one will be going back to their personal computers. Am I correct in that, Mr. Attorney? Is that what you're saying?
Whatever you choose. I mean, the easiest way, as Vice Mayor suggested, would be the best. And it's all the determination of how logistically is done. And you can come back to your personal computer later and I formally announcement that by the chief, Commissioner Blanca selected years and Commissioner Suarez selected a number of years and Commissioner Diaz-Padrón selected a number of years. And after a coin was flipped, Commissioner Blankety Blank shall be the Vice Mayor.
Okay, but that can't be later. So that's got to be during that same meeting. It's all got to be done during the 12 o'clock meeting. So it can't be done later in the day.
I sure wish. I mean,
Well, it's not as I wish, it's how it's printed. I have an agenda in front of me. We have to stick to the agenda.
You know what? We already set the time for the methodology and the methodology. Why don't you guys figure it out and just advise us in the notice of the meeting?
So we're going to figure this out during this meeting right now. That is an agenda item on the meeting we're having now. So we will figure it out together during this meeting as advertised. Madam Manager, Chief, you will be next. Madam Manager, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My recommendation would be, and I mean, I think we're talking about the commission coming in one at a time, selecting their cup, doing the selection process, of course, videotaping and recording all the proceedings. Would it be appropriate to have a 1 o'clock continuation to the meeting so that all the information can be publicly disclosed via a Zoom meeting?
If everyone agrees to that, I'm waiting for an agreement. I'm waiting for a consensus here. I need a consensus on how we're going to do this.
Can we do that?
Mr. Attorney, Madam Clerk, someone, can we do that? Madam Clerk, go ahead.
Usually when we have our meetings, we can take a break. We can call back the meeting back to order at a later time, like we usually do. We can call the meeting at 12 o'clock, proceed with the determination after everybody has made their procedure. Then we can take a break and call back the meeting to order at 1 o'clock. I've seen, customarily we've done that. So that's my recommendation, and then I agree with the manager's recommendation to call back the meeting back to order at 1 o'clock.
Okay, so Madam Clerk, can you clearly let everyone know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, in the order it's going to happen, the location is going to happen, and the time it's going to happen? Once the clerk clarifies this so that we all understand, I'm going to ask everyone to say yes or no. Once it's set and once we agree, it's not going to change. Madam Clerk, how, when, where, why? Go.
Okay, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, you, Madam Mayor, will call the meeting to order. This is a special meeting that has been advertised. At that time, the commissioners Diaz-Padrón, Candida Blanca, and Luciano Suarez will be at City Hall. The rest of the attendants will be attending virtually. The chief of police will lead the procedure. I'll be present taking a certain distance. And we will proceed with the selection of, as the chief described, of the cops. First, with Commissioner
Madam Clerk,
Blanca.
if I may, where
Yes.
at City Hall will this be taking place?
At-
Where?
In the commission chambers,
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, and then Commissioner Blanca will be the first one, then Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, and then Vice Mayor Suarez. After we have determined, or they have taken their cop, we will determine who will be serving for 4 years, 4 years, and 2 years. And the ones for the two that get the 4 years, we're gonna flip a coin. And that will be determine the office of the vice mayor. After all procedure is over, we're gonna take a break to allow Commissioners Diaz-Padrón, Blanca, and Suarez to go back to their computers, and the meeting will be called back to order, and we will reconvene at 1:00 p.m. virtually.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioner Blanca, you have your hand raised. Go ahead, please.
What is the emergency for another meeting after all that? The 1:00 meeting, why? Is it an emergency?
It's not an emergency. I believe it's the
Why do we have
continuation of the same. I believe it's a continuation of the same meeting.
It's an opportunity for everybody to go back to the computer. It's not, it's just an adjournment like the clerk suggested and like the chief suggested. It's just an adjournment so everybody can go up to their own computer. And then, of course, the chief will announce the result, and that will be it. I mean, there's no a separate meeting. It's just a brief comment and so on and so forth. Go ahead, Chief.
I think the information of what occurs at that selection of the cups should be reported to the clerk, and the clerk be the one to go ahead and advise.
Thank you, Chief. Madam Clerk, go ahead.
Yes, in response to Commissioner Blanca's concern, it's not another meeting. It's just what we will do is my office will report the results, and basically we will adjourn. It's just a matter of continuing the meeting, reporting the results of what took place at 12 o'clock, and adjourning the meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I have any other questions, comments, or concerns? Does everyone clearly understand what's going to happen tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes.
Have a nice day, Mayor.
Not yet, sir. Does anyone have anything else on how it's going? Yes, Madam Manager, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, for the clarification and for the record and for the public. I think it would be a good idea to recap tomorrow's day, if you would. Just the time that the meeting is being announced, the process, not in its entirety, but how the selection will be made, and then how it's going to be deferred or continued until a time certain later on in the afternoon or immediately following the selection of terms and offices, just for the clarification of the record.
Madam Clerk, I want to hear from you in detail, in its entirety, exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. Time, place, and participants. For the record and for the last time, unless anyone else has a question. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Would you like me to repeat the whole procedure again, or just the highlights at what time, place, and what's going to happen?
I believe the manager was asking for a complete recap. Am I correct, Madam Manager?
Yes, ma'am. I think that would be good for the record.
And then I want, if that's the case, if we're going to recap, I want it recapped in detail.
Okay. On Tuesday, April 14, a special virtual meeting has been announced for the determination of office of vice mayor and commissioners at 12 o'clock at noon in the commission chambers. Commissioners Candida Blanca, Eric Diaz-Padrón, and Vice Mayor Suarez will be participating in the determination of the office of the vice mayor and the terms. Coordinated or recommended by the chief of police, each and one commissioner will enter the commission chambers, taking proper distance. And first, being Commissioner Blanca, she will select a cop, then followed by Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, and then followed by Vice Mayor Suarez. At that time, the determination of the terms will be decided. So 2 commissioners will select 4 years and 1 commissioner will select 2 years. At that time, the ones that selected 4 years for that specific procedure, a coin will be flipped, determining then who's gonna be vice mayor for 4 years and who's gonna be commissioner for 4 years, serving 4 years. As I said, vice mayor will serve 2 years as vice mayor and 2 years as commissioner, and the other will serve 4 years as commissioner. The one that selects 2 years will serve 2 years as commissioner. After that procedure is done, we will take a break. The mayor will request taking a break, and we can then continue and reconvene the meeting at 1 o'clock virtually. So all the commissioners participating in the termination can go back to their homes and to their computers and where the city clerk's office will issue a report and the meeting will be adjourned.
Hey, let me, Madam Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Attorney, go ahead.
Madam Mayor, at some point you have to go with the agenda, and you have to say, this is an agenda on the today, the 14th, etc., and this will be the procedure, and then the procedure will continue the way that the clerk has just stated, okay?
Yes, sir, I will be calling that meeting as I do every meeting. I will open the meeting as I have done and will continue doing.
Right. Everybody's in accord then.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I need either a virtual, actually, no, I'm gonna ask one by one. I want to ask one by one. Commissioner Blanes, are you in agreement with the very detailed procedure that the clerk just provided us for tomorrow's meeting?
If all of my colleagues are, then yes, I am.
Okay. Commissioner Blanca, are you in agreement with the procedure, the way the clerk just stated?
Yes.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Suarez, are you in agreement with how the clerk just said tomorrow's meeting is going to take place?
I hope you do not repeat again. I agree.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, are you okay with the way the clerk just provided us tomorrow's agenda?
Yes.
Mr. Attorney?
You have to vote, Madam Mayor.
Yes, I do. No, sir, I want to get everybody's input. Are you okay with what was just said?
Yes, madam.
Thank you. Madam Manager?
Yes, ma'am.
Chief?
No.
Chief Avila, you will be participating. Are you okay with what was just said? I can't see him. I think he's frozen.
Frozen.
You can tell her yes, ma'am, for me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And Madam Clerk, that was an agenda item. So, okay, first of all, I need a motion.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Madam Clerk, call the vote.
Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote? Commissioner Blanca?
Yes.
Duly noted. Commissioner Blanes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz-Padrón, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Suarez, how do you vote?
What is the vote for?
Item 4B, sir.
I vote no before. I
Madam
do not agree
Madam
with
Mayor,
your opinion.
Not 4B, then what are we voting on?
on the procedure to take place tomorrow, that was part as a discussion during the good of the order.
I'm sorry. That is correct. Good of the order. I stand corrected. Please, please let Commissioner Vice Mayor Suarez know what he's voting on. I stand corrected.
Vice Mayor Suarez, how do you vote?
I vote in resolution A 4B, I vote no. And the resolution passed 4-1.
For
I
the
vote no.
procedure, for the procedure
I
taking
vote
place
no for the
tomorrow.
resolution. I vote no for the resolution, yes.
Vice Mayor, I was wrong.
I vote no for the resolution.
Not the resolution we're voting on, sir. I stand corrected. We are voting on the procedure that came up in the good of the order.
If you're asking me for what the system that you explained 4 times, I agree with that. 12 o'clock and then 1 o'clock, I agree with that. But in the resolution 4B, I did vote no already.
No, so we're voting on the procedure.
Yeah.
Mayor, he already said yes.
Tomorrow,
Thank
I
you.
agree with the time and the way.
You vote yes. And Mayor Rodriguez, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Okay, that's motion passes.
5-0. The procedure for tomorrow is approved.
Okay. And does anyone have anything else before I adjourn? I have a motion to adjourn. If there is nothing else, I have a motion by Commissioner Diaz-Padrón. All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn the meeting? Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very, very much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you.